over 10.5 million naira in 2 months just selling tomatoes. And in this video, I will be sharing with you how we are able to get this huge success in our tomato production. How many tomato plants did we have? What was the yield like? What did we do to get this particular kind of harvest? What were the mistakes that we made? What are the things we've learned from this particular project? And what should we not do in our next project? Make sure you watch to the end of this video, because there are lots of information that I will share that can help you that is about to start a tomato farm or that has a farm already. This will help you in your farming journey so that you don't make the same mistake that I made, and also you can be able to replicate this kind of success. So watch to the end of this video. Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel. Here on this channel, I give out farm update, farm tips, how to in agriculture. I also discuss agribusiness, also do business talks as well. And in this video, I'll be sharing how we are able to get this success in our tomato farm, having in revenue over 10.5 million naira just selling our tomatoes in 2 months. So a quick backstory, because what you must understand is that we don't just come in a day and start harvesting tomatoes and start making millions and start selling millions. No, it doesn't happen like that. It is a process. It took time, it took hard work, it took smart work, it took paying attention to your plants to get this kind of success. And even at the kind of success that we have, we also made some mistakes, and we also learned from that mistakes, and we will not repeat that mistake again. So what was the backstory, or how did we start this project? Okay, so earlier this year we started our preparation to do tomato and pepper, but I'm only doing this particular video for the tomato. I think I've done the pepper before. So the tomato, so it was in February, March, started preparing, making lab preparations and everything that is under the agronomy practices that you must do before you plant. Started our nursery, and at the end of the day, we transplanted around 10,000 stands, 10,000 seedlings, tomato seedlings, around 10,000 of them. And as we may have it, and as God may have it, around 7,000 of our tomato plants produce above average. About 7,000 of them produce above average. The reason why I said above average is because it is not at the peak, because each plant theoretically can give you 5 kg per plant, which is per plant of tomato, can give you 5 kg per plant. But in the actual sense, or in the real sense of it, if you are working in the farm, you begin to understand that there are some situations, there are some things that are beyond your control, but you can only do your best. And if you have 3 kg per plant, it's a good yield. If you have 3 kg, if you have 2.5 kg, it's above average. It is above average. So our 7,000 plant gave us a good yield, and at the end of the harvest, mind you, it's not just 2 months or 1 month that we made the whole sales. You have to acknowledge the fact that you started nursing your plant like 3 months ago. I don't know if you understand. If you're a farmer, you should know. You have to acknowledge the fact that you have been working in the farm for the past 3 months without any revenue coming in. You are just been putting and working and working. So the 2 months that we made over 10.5 million naira is a payment to the effort we've put in the past 2 to 3 months. Okay, so we started our nursery, transplanted, started our treatment, had our plants doing so well. And at the end of I don't want this video to be too long, so I will just hit some points, and also the things that I want us to know as well. Hit the point, how we made the money, and revenue, what we learned. So it will not be a long video, but if you want me to do a longer more detailed breakdown per expense and per basket, or all those things, like break it down in details, you can also comment in the comment section that you need a video of a complete breakdown of the process so that you can be able to understand better. But in this video, I'll just put out the hints and also share my view and my experience. So we started harvesting our tomato, and from the first harvest, we are seeing 5 baskets, from 5 to 10 baskets, 15 baskets, 25, and sometimes we had 30 baskets in one harvest. And what I planted was Platinum F1. And if you remember, if you have been watching my videos, in my previous video, when somebody asked a question, why did I choose to plant Cobra F1 in this batch you are doing right now, as against the Platinum I used to plant before? I also mentioned in that video that Platinum F1 for me has a very good yield. When it comes to yield, Platinum F1 is the highest for me. Okay, I mentioned it in that video. So that is something that happened in this particular bit of production. We had a very good yield, and one plant of Platinum tomato can give you around 18 to over 20 fruits per plant, one plant. So you can see how the yield is. That's in turn replicated in over 7,000 of our plants that gave us a very good yield. And at the end of our harvest, we are able to record over 346 baskets for tomato, 346 of good tomato, and about 80 baskets of broken tomatoes. So you see, we have a very high number of broken tomatoes. Imagine converting maybe like 50 baskets out of that 80, converting that 50 to be good baskets, added to the 340 something, should be around 400 baskets of good tomato. But we had 80 baskets of broken tomato and 346 baskets of good tomato. You might be wondering how I'm able to know the number of baskets that we are broken and good tomatoes. It is important as a farmer. You must have your farm book. There must be a record to trace your success or to trace your issues. So it's important, especially when it comes to sales. You should record so that you can be able to understand how well your farm is doing, if you are going front or you are going back. Okay, so we had that number of baskets, and at the time we sold tomato, we were selling about 38,000, 35,000. Because what you must understand is that the vegetable market is a very volatile market that is not fixed. You will not say, okay, tomato is 10,000 per basket and it's 10,000 like that till the end of the year. No, you can buy tomato for 10,000 this morning, and by 12 noon, the price have doubled, or the price have even dropped to like 5,000. That is how volatile vegetable market is. But at the time we sold, we shuffled around 38, 35, and sometimes 30 when we sold our tomato, and we had around 340 something basket of good tomato, and then 80 of broken ones, and some other small ones that were also sold within the farm as well. Now, if you do the math by the figure I told you, you will understand, you will see what we are able to make in just 2 months of selling this tomato. Now, how were we able to get this kind of success in the farm with over, if you merge the two together, is over 450 baskets of tomato harvested in just 2 months? What did we do? How do we tackle our problems? And how were we able to get this particular success? And how much did it actually cost? Because we talk about how much we made in revenue, but we didn't mention that we spent money before we get to when we start harvesting. We have been putting before we get to where we start harvesting. All right. So how much do we actually spend for us to get this kind of harvest? Now, I will not give a holistic breakdown of the expense per item, but I will give just a sum of the expenses. So I also say in this video that if you need a breakdown, you can leave a comment in the comment section that you need a complete breakdown of all these things, then I can do a new video or a different video explaining them in detail. So how much do we spend in total for this production? So for both clearing of the site, making of ridge, getting installation material, because we didn't depend on, it's not rain fed, we use irrigation material, we use irrigation to water the farm because we use ventures to send fertilizers. So joining everything together, irrigation material, site clearing, ridge making, manure, fertilizer, and all other treatments, both fungicide, pesticide, foliar fertilizers that we used, and also extra labors that we use for weeding of the farm and also harvesting. All these things cost about 3.5. Everything everything joined together, because we had tomato and we had pepper at the same time. So we used the same material for both the tomato and pepper, and we had about 5,000 pepper and then the tomato as well. So if I will do it holistically, we spent around 3.5 million for the tomato, around 3.5 million for that tomato farm, and we're able to get this result. And if you look at it very well, the reason why we had that hike in price is because we got new sets of irrigation material, and even at that we made a huge turnover, a huge profit. So in our next production, we are not getting new set of irrigation materials again. That means the cost of production will reduce. That means making more profit. So we spent around 3.5 million naira setting up the farm, getting irrigation materials, and then getting material for planting and other things, and we're able to make over 10.5 million naira in total revenue. So you can do the math yourself and see what is our profit in 2 months of harvesting. Now, what were the lessons that we learned in this particular journey? Ideally, we're supposed to harvest over 500 baskets from the farm. If I'm to do a rough calculation of what we're supposed to get from the farm, we're supposed to be around 550 something baskets in the farm, but we ended up having 450 or thereabouts, and 80 of them were broken, and 3 something were now the good ones. What were the lessons learned? We failed to stake our tomato. Most of our tomatoes got bad in the farm. Most of them had fungal attacks, got spoiled in the farm, a lot of them. So if you calculate how many we harvested and what we estimated, we lost over 100 baskets. Now, how much do you think 100 baskets would have given us as extra revenue or extra profit? But we lost it, and we had over 80 baskets broken, which we lost the market value for those 80, because you sell the broken ones half the price of the good basket, sometimes even less than half the price of the good basket, because they are already damaged. Okay, so we had issues in farm maintenance. We had issues with farm maintenance. We failed to do our due diligence in proper maintenance of the farm, and that cost us over 100 baskets and also cost us 80 baskets of broken tomato. That is not to say that you can produce and not have broken ones. It is nearly impossible to produce and not have broken tomato. I don't say it's impossible, I say it is nearly impossible, especially if you're planting in an open field. So you have broken tomatoes. But if you manage your farm well, you can be able to reduce the percentage of broken tomatoes, but we failed to do what we had to do, and we had this huge loss of over 80 baskets broken tomatoes and over 100 baskets that we did not even harvest that got bad in the farm. But in all, we're able to make profits, we're able to add turnover, and sold in 2 months. We still have some tomatoes in the farm actually, but those ones are the ones we sell just little by little. They're no longer the time for the bulk sales and bulk harvest is over. The ones we have in the farm are just little, maybe 1 basket, 2 baskets here and there. But we're still selling, it's still part of the profit. But for now, in 2 months, we had over 10.5 million naira revenue selling just tomato. So is it profitable for somebody to go into tomato farming? Is it profitable for someone to go into tomato farming? It is very profitable, it is lucrative, but it is important that you know what to do, when to do it, and how to handle your situations. Tomato farming needs expertise. You need to know what to do. You need to be intentional. You need to pay attention for you to be able to squeeze out the juice that comes from it. But is it lucrative? It is very lucrative. Tomato money is actually very sweet. It comes like as if it's free money, but actually you've worked for it. You put in so much money in it, put in so much effort, you put in your time to nurture them for the 3 months they stayed. And if you do it well, they will tap your back and tell you well done. I hope you got value watching this video. If you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up and also share this video so that people will watch and also learn. If you have any question, drop in the comment section and tell us what you think, what question you have, and if you want a full breakdown of the expense bit by bit per item and how we are able to navigate through all these things, you want a full breakdown, then leave us a comment in the comment section and I will do a new video explaining everything in details. Until then, see you guys in our next video. Bye for now.